everybody, and welcome back to Reckoning of Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. Happy Thursday. This is our last week before Month of Darkness begins. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming Thursdays and Fridays in October. Hopefully I will be if we're still playing this game. That'd be super fun because I love doing it. Yes, Patrick did culturally appropriate the caitiff. That is correct. We discovered in the last part that he is a Malkavian, which I think we all knew because that was super obvious to everyone except for him, I think. And I think it's very in line with Malkavians to be like, I'm so sneaky, nobody knows I'm a Malkavian. I love that so much. Oh yeah, we are past the Patrick reveal. Pedrick, however you pronounce his name properly. I still don't know. Yes, we also met, well, I don't remember his name. We also met the ministry guy, on North Brother Island, I think. And yeah, we're still looking for our sire, still haven't found him. And there's a scary Samitsi apparently in New York, which, you know, anyone who's watched, the actual play New York by Night knows that there's plenty of scary Samitsi in New York. Let's quickly do the math. Deadly sunlight plus my clan's particularities equals a new spot to keep me from getting dusted. I just hope it's better than the last one, but honestly, with the chaos that keeps unfolding, any hideout will do. I also ate someone at a club, didn't I? Didn't I do that last time as well? I don't know. I'm so fun. Of course nobody knows I'm a... yeah. I mean, it's so in line. I actually like it so much. I think... Alright, Malkavian is the only character I've ever played in a Chronicle proper. I've done a bunch of one-shots, so I have played other clans in one-shots, but I don't necessarily count that. I feel like you need a Chronicle to really flesh out a character. So technically, I've only ever played a Malkavian. But if I ever play another one, that's definitely something I'm going to want to do. Because it's so funny. The apartment oh gosh, this is so loud in my headphones. I don't know if it's super loud for you. Gosh, it's so loud for me. The apartment I scored thanks to the signs of our crew, wonder who left it there, Reynard, Jess, is thankfully much better than the dump I had to crash back in the Bronx. It's clean, spacious, and sunproof, so at least I won't fry to a crisp while daydreaming. Not exactly my cozy RV, but hey, in a couple of nights I could get used to it. Vin making notes. It's very weird to say, and I don't say it super often, but I have way, like leaps and years and bounds more experience as a storyteller than I ever do as a player. I have never even played in a 5th edition Chronicle. The only Chronicle I played in was 20th, or was technically I think was revised edition Chronicle. Someday I'll play in a Chronicle. Someday someone will invite me to a Chronicle. It'll happen, I'm sure. I'll keep waiting. If it weren't for the damn near certainty that I'll turn into a pile of ash come sunset, that is. Lying in this queen-size bed, hands laced behind my head, waiting for sleep to hit, my mind can't help but spiral around the shitstorm of the past few nights. Turns out there's more I don't know about Reynard than I do about Patrick, and I've been Reynard's child for almost 2 freaking years. Not 2 years! My god. Okay, so I think this should have been obvious right from the get-go, but Callie's a baby. My goodness, she's a fledgling. She's a baby. My embrace. Yeah, that's not a trip down memory lane I enjoy. Not just because it felt like getting ripped apart, because it caught me off guard. I wasn't one of those poor sods whose entire existence revolved around becoming kindred, who slaved away as ghouls for decades, if not centuries, just for a chance at that one final kiss. To be honest, I had no desires or purpose back then, just drifting through life, much like these nights, following impulses. Hit up that city, no scratch that, head to the other one, swipe from that dude here, scam that lady over there, put on a show, disappear. Live. I caught Reynard's eye at a music festival. I was really raking it in with sleights of hand, hustling the clueless out of their money. Rich kids were everywhere, dripping with cash and confidence, making my job a damn breeze. In just one day, I made enough to cover my ticket 3 times over. It lasted until Reynard came along, hiccup, and decided to take me down a notch, exposing all my tricks, swindling me of my hard-earned money, humiliating me in front of my cash cows, not my cash cows. And then they had the nerve to promise me some bright, shiny future with his gang. I told him to go to hell, obviously. I'd had it with assholes and had zero interest in joining a gang. Cruising alone across the country suited me just fine, or so I thought. Been years since I convinced myself that solitude meant freedom. But soon enough, whether I liked it or not, I learned a whole new meaning of freedom, one that went way beyond just being lonely, because that very same night, Reynard spotted me in the crowd and decided to embrace me right under everyone's noses. No one even batted a freaking eye as he hauled my dying ass out of that festival. Man, I'm in a rotten mood today, ain't I? Gotta remind myself it's not all that bad. Those last 2 years with Reynard's coterie were better than a big chunk of my life. Turns out being part of a tight-knit group, a found family, as he calls it, can be pretty damn sweet. Not so much when the leader turns out to be a lying, dodging snake, though. That's a recent bombshell, with that merchandise not reaching the buyer, the sudden antediluvian obsession. That's right, our sire is obsessed with antediluvians. That can only mean good things. And being at the very top of the circulatory system hit list. God damn it, Reynard Castle, what the hell did you get yourself into? Ka-chow. I could lower the volume, so sorry about that. So sorry I didn't see it. That blue color, your, Elena, your thing comes up blue for me, and that's like one of those colors that I don't see super well as it blends in. Might just not be as used to the tropes because I didn't see the Malkavian reveal coming when I played. I did really enjoy this game, though. Yeah, he's wearing, like, I'm sure he'll pop up in a second. He's wearing, like, a shirt that, oh my god, it's Julius Vinsky. He's wearing a shirt that's, like, half of a broken glass, and he's got, like, a bunch of gestures on his belt, so it was kind of, like, hinting at it there. Used to play a Caitiff that had very similar abilities to a Salubri, but, like, not the Bane, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Caitiff obviously don't have Banes, like, per rules as written. But I think in the player's guide, they came out with an ability for a Caitiff to assume a clan Bane. I could be wrong about that. Julia, I love you so much. Slow night, boss? Oh, God. Ah! Sorry. I'm fine. It's all he needs to say, really. Just that ellipses is all I need from Kadir. Okay, so I'm being Julia. All right. I don't do Polish. Kurwa, that's the only Polish I know. He clearly detests it when I call him that, but I keep tossing it his way every now and then. Who knows, maybe it'll rekindle some of that old buddy vibe we lost along the way. Not that I'm dying for it, it's just he turns into a total snorefest once he flips on that professional switch. Handling the Callahan case the way I did, I knew it wouldn't exactly endear me to him. Turns out it might have cut him deeper than I ever thought it would. How many this time? Another 2. A Duskborn and one of Ashling's fledglings. The way they were found, their last moments were far from pleasant, to say the least. This is absurd. We're sequestered here like a bunch of idiots, struggling to find common ground, pretending we have this mess handled. We can't let this continue, you know that. We have to crush this mob, snap their pitchforks, and smother their torches before everything spirals out of control. I mean, you're the sheriff. In my book, that's your shot to call. You've got plenty of backup in there. Honestly, I don't know what's holding you back. That's the fundamental difference between us. Unlike you, I still have a modicum of respect for the rules, even when they bind my hands to the choices of fools. Language? Yikes, that's the fiery glare again. I need to work on my timing, and he needs to sort out his anger issues. Do you mind if I intrude on this delightful conversation? Jesus, I hate when she pulls up that Cheshire cat shit popping out of thin air like that. What is it, Valerie? We might have identified the mastermind behind your locust swarm, as you so aptly put it. A mere glimpse at the file she hands Kadir has me reeling. Him? Seriously? Positive. But then piecing things together, it makes perfect sense. The locust would only rally under a supremely charismatic asshole. And there's no asshole quite as magnetic as Aaron Fletcher. Don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is? Oh, good God. Hopefully the volume is better. You can let me know if it is or isn't. The belt reminded me of the Nosferatu symbol, but the shirt did remind me of Malkavian. Yeah, it did sort of look like that dramatic mask, that drama mask that the Nosferatu have, but, it was a jester. Like, you could see the three-pronged, I don't know what it's called, hat thing with the bells on it. He's the guy the tech bro was worshipping. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you so much. I'm so good at remembering stuff. I'm great at it, honestly. No, you're fine. Absolutely yap about your K-Tif characters. Also, I love people who want to play healer characters in I love people who take Panacea. I think it used to be called Obeya, now it's called Panacea in V5. I love that. I love that. Big, huge fan. Yes, I do want to end the night. End a single night with the lowest possible hunger. Okay. Done. December 2024, 4 nights till New Year. My light is blinding me. My light is blinding me. I can't say anything. The concept of sleep completely changes when you become one of us. You don't really get gently lulled by the warmth of Morpheus's embrace, more like tossed into dark, depthless waters, where the cold suffocates you till you can't feel anything. Waking up doesn't exactly leave you rested, but it's not quite exhaustion either. It's more like a narrow escape from some fathomless and terrible threat. Which doesn't at all explain why I feel so fucking exhausted as I make my way to Patrick's, tuning out the lively chaos of New York streets on a chilly December night. Even the city's festive lights, scattered among the gray urban landscape, can't lift my spirits, and neither can the delicate glimmer of the snow. Do vampires ever suffer from seasonal depression? Because it sure as hell feels like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. It's an interesting question. That one that I would absolutely encourage my players to act out. Patrick manages to blend in seamlessly with the scenery, yet I spot him from a block away, near his haven. Uncharacteristically, both his hands are buried in his pockets instead of fumbling with that lifeline ring of his. We're a tie. I don't think vampires would feel seasonal depression in the wintertime. Probably not, because winter means like nights are way longer and days are way shorter, so you have more time for shenanigans. I feel like seasonal depression would come in the summertime when days are super long. His head is bowed, eyes aimlessly fixed on the pavement as usual. Let's get down to business. Let's get weird. Let's get weird, buddy. Oh my God. These questions is so funny. Oh, Jesus. Depthless. Depthless. Autocorrect says it's not a word. It might not be. It might not. I mean, English is funny that way, where you can sort of make up words. A new depression for each season. Yeah, absolutely. I would make a storyteller call that vampires would feel seasonal depression in summer. I have no energy for this. Hey. Hey. He looks up at me with a touch of surprise. Hello there. You're a bit early tonight. Seems like you've left your usual quips at home. Yeah, not really in the mood for that. Why don't you fill the air? What should we expect from Kaiser tonight? Oh, that's right. We had the choice between meeting with Kaiser and Hope, and I just chose Kaiser just because... I don't know why I chose Kaiser. I know I had a reason at the time. I had a reason at the time. I remember that, but I don't remember what the reason was. Well, to be perfectly frank, a lot of hostility. I roll my eyes. Fantastic. Another enemy is just what I need here. It's not quite like that. To put it plainly, Kaiser's presence is nothing short of repulsive. I'm yet to encounter another kindred who's as inherently distasteful. However, I must implore you to bite your tongue. If we want answers, we must suffer the insufferable, I'm afraid. Well, I can't make any promises. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but we both know that's likely... But we both know how that's likely to turn out. We both know how likely that is to turn out, would be how I would say it. Maybe it's best if you do all the talking. Observing would be my preference, but I think we can manage. There's a brief, pregnant pause, and then I succumb to the urge to disrupt it. What do you think Kaiser will want from us in return? Before I can open my worries into words, a monstrous, opulent limousine screeches to a halt beside us, its tires right up against the curb. Patrick braces himself and gives me a resolute nod just as the limousine door bursts open and a lanky guy steps out. Wait a minute. It's you. You. Right. All right. So I messed with him And everyone in the chat told me that this is Kaiser's ghoul from Coteries or Shadows of New York, one of them, or both. And I didn't remember that at all. Probably because either I didn't meet him at some point, or I just forgotten, which is the highest likelihood. Oh God. Yes, allergic to the sun and have reverse seasonal depression? Absolutely. Summer is a nightmare, winter is freedom. I could not agree with you more. Oh, wait, yeah, he does look Malkavian. Yeah, he does. Patrick absolutely looks Malkavian. It was to do a German accent? That sounds like me. That sounds like me, Jerry. That absolutely sounds like me. I do a lot of accents in this. I've done more accents in this than I have in all the games I've ever run, and I've been running games for 4 years. I'm pretty positive. It's that lame gambler guy, the one I totally humiliated way back when. What's he doing here? You work for Kaiser? You're a you're one of... damn it, I should have known. Trying to play like you didn't do me any favors, let me tell you. Not that I'm blaming you or anything, miss. You could try, but even better, learn how to play the gambler's game. You're gonna need it if you want to keep on swindling. He looks at me with eyes devoid of thought. Is that some type of poker, or... How about we put an end to this conversation right about now? The guy cowers a little at Patrick's exasperated tone, but quickly recovers. Come on in, the boss is waiting. No good. Threat increases. Good. I thought I was ready for anything after Patrick's warnings and all the nasty rumors about Kaiser, but man, was I totally off. That Nosferatu info broker's face is even more hideous than I could have imagined. And the limo, far from the swanky vibe I expected. Instead, we're in a high-tech paradise. Top-tier peripherals, touchpads, laptops, phones, tablets, the works. It feels so much like my own geeky heaven that I have to sit on my hands to stop myself from touching everything. Touch everything. Do it. I am so caught up in all the cool gadgetry that I forgot about Kaiser's fabled mean streak. So when his grating, nasally voice cuts through my... Oh no. I'm gonna do a German accent. I'm not doing a grating, nasally voice because I need my voice later today. Through the engine's hum, I nearly jump out of my skin. What the hair? I can't do this. Can I do this in a German accent? We don't say fuckwits. Listen up, you fuckwits. Time is money, and you're clearly broke as shit. Spill it now or piss off out of my ride. We don't say fuckwits here. Oh, hell no. Who the fuck do you think you are, asshole? How about I piss all over your ride, huh? I might have lost my cool a bit there. I don't even need to look at Patrick to know he's seething with frustration. But I'm not backing down that easily. Kaiser just scoffs and glares at me, giving me the silent treatment for what feels like forever. Look at that. This one's got some bite in her fangs. Reminds me of someone I really don't fucking like. His hand moves towards his leg and he clenches it so tightly his knuckles dance under his awful skin. Interesting. Alright, let's cut the crap. Conroy so does not speak like a German. Conroy tells me you're itching to dig into the circulatory system database because that fucker Cassel screwed the pooch. Big time. I raise an eyebrow at Patrick. I hadn't really thought about what setting up a meeting entailed, but I definitely didn't expect Kaiser to score all this free intel. Patrick's frown suggests that Kaiser might have snagged some secrets on the sly. Yeah, Huddy is super homophobic. That's me. Clip that out of context. And then go see how gay I am on my social media. Huddy is me. Hi, I'm a World of Darkness community ambassador. I'm Huddy. Hello. I'm also gay. But that's neither here nor there. It's obviously not gay because I didn't pick Hope, so. Oh, God. That fucker Castle, huh? You have a history with Reynard? Kaiser flashes me a grin with those shark-like teeth, and I can't tell if he's amused or threatening, so I just put on my best tough girl face. I have beef with him, that's what I have. That cocksucker can't keep his nose out of where it doesn't fucking belong. Cocksucker. Well, it doesn't sound a lot like Reynard, so I just shrug and nod. Thankfully, Patrick suddenly remembers he's supposed to do the talking. So, judging by all this hardline posturing, I assume you have some plan up your sleeve, Kaiser? What's your fucking mouse, Conroy? You're in my space now. I'm dying to throw some snark his way again, but I choke back the urge. Patrick's stern glare definitely plays a part in that. Here's the deal. I've set up a meeting at the main office of the circulatory system, posing as a high-rolling ventru autarchus, looking to dump some cash into their pit. Now. Name? What? What exactly do we call this autarchus? Didn't I just tell you to shut your trap? The faster I'm done, the faster you fuckers stop stinking up my car. Mein Auto. Maybe if you spill all the beans now, I won't need to drill you with more questions later, yeah? Don't talk about drilling, Kaiser, please. Callie has a point, Kaiser. We need to be thorough about every last detail if we're to pull this off. The name's Mr. Ooh, that's a name. The name's Mr. Tiburon. You twats. Satisfied? That's more like it. Go on. Unbelievable. Now, the Otakis, Mr. Tiburon, he ain't about to mingle with the lowlifes himself, so he's sending his goons. That's you morons to handle the big fucking deal on his behalf. Those blue blood assholes are so hungry for a buck, they'll jump at any fucking chance they get. That's your ticket into their fortress. Out of nowhere, he whips out 2 ID cards and flicks them at us. There's a note slapped onto mine with a sticky mess of glue, sporting a Staten Island address in a hand so sloppy it's practically criminal. Not Staten Island. This here's your golden fucking key into that dump. Lose it and you're fucked. Capiche? Capiche. What you do next is on you. You'll find the database in their labs. Gay, me too. Yes, I'm gay. I'm rolling with the LGBT. The ID cards are not the same. Sorry, don't mind if I scroll up. Did I notice that when he handed me the ID cards? I don't know where he whips the 2 ID cards. No, it just says they're sloppy. But the ID cards are not the same? What does that mean? Wait, the cards are different? Obviously, you dimwit. Yours gets you into the lab for the data. Conroy's is gonna do the talking while you sneak off. Why not the other way around? Because this gangly fuckstick over here is a natural-born thespian. Aren't you, Conroy? That I can't argue with. But Patrick, on the other hand, doesn't seem too thrilled and grimaces again. And he's a total disaster with anything tech. That I am. But thank you for the cards. Just then, the limo swerves dramatically to the right and screeches to a halt on the sidewalk, the sound of honking cars filling the air. Deal sealed. Now get the hell out. I've got real business to handle. In the ensuing chaos, we scramble out of the limo under the harsh glare of streetlights, the urgent tone of Kaiser's farewell echoing behind us. I'll be at the spot on the note. Don't screw this up, or else. Auf Wiedersehen! Patrick and I stand motionless, caught in a kind of limbo, watching as Kaiser's limo dodges through traffic, disappears around a corner, and slips out of sight. Well, that could have gone way worse, right? We extracted more from that meeting than mere invectives. That's a big word, Patrick. I don't know what it means, because I'm not smart. I would say that it went quite well. So this batshit crazy plan, we're actually going to break into the circulatory system and jack their data? I mean, it's right up my alley, but... Yeah, the plan is utterly mad, yet it seems we have no other option. Patrick appears eerily composed, as if the idea of being caught red-handed at the circulatory system hasn't crossed his mind. But I can tell the wheels are turning. He's probably stressed to the point of zen. I've been there. I understand this exact feeling, to be so stressed that you, like, come out on the other side. I've been there. I chew on my lip and think. It's perfect. It's perfect. Gangly fuckstick. Gangly, yeah, that's my type. Gangly fuckstick is my type, actually. That's a sat word. Hi, Laura. Welcome in, Laura. Look, I didn't go to school, and I mean that literally, so I don't know what that word means. Everything I know I've learned on the street. Nope, not that either. Think happy thoughts. No, I don't want to think happy thoughts. I want to think sad, depressing thoughts to match the weather. No time to ponder. I figure if he can play it cool while possibly facing a grisly end, so can I. Risking it all is kind of my jam anyway. I grin broadly and nod with gusto. All right, let's hit it. Yeah. Wish we were being literal. My mood... My mood shifts dramatically as soon as we buckle up in Patrick's car and take off towards our goal. I feel almost numb, the way my brain buzzes with uncoordinated thoughts like a giant, incomprehensible beehive. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Patrick throwing concerned glances my way before he decides to break the silence. Is everything okay? Yeah. It's just that I might not know Reynard as well as I thought I did. Really? A duplicitous sire? Well, that's unheard of. The circulatory system, the antediluvian, some enigmatic, powerful backer. I'm not even sure who he is anymore, and it's not like I can just ask him right now. Patrick absorbs my words, mulling over the thought in a heavy silence. I get it. It's really unsettling to realize you don't truly know someone you thought you were close to. Guess the ticking clock isn't making things any easier, huh? It fucking doesn't, but cheers for the reminder. My apologies. Wasn't trying to add to your stress. Yeah, I get it. But hey, I playfully smack his shoulder, forcing a smile through the strain. At least you won't be stuck with me much longer, right? Say the right thing, Patrick, I swear to God. His attention snaps from the road to me, his look one of unexpected irritation. You know I take no joy at the thought of hauling you before the Primogen Council should we fail to capture Castle. I swiftly turn my head away and look out the window. Well, I do now. Sorry. Just so overwhelmed that you're just chill. Yeah. I mean, that's... I am a person who does actually get easily overwhelmed. So, like, you know, you just got to go zen with it, as Callie said. I don't. I'm really not smart, and I don't know, like, big old words. You can keep them big old words. I don't know them. I don't know her. The lifeline, Kaiser. Every second near Kaiser makes me want to punch a wall, but still his little cloak and dagger act might be what we need to break into the circulatory system. Let's do it. Didn't Kadir only give us 4 nights? Or am I remembering that wrong? Or did he give us till New Year's? Like, Happy New Year, and chops off my head. Although that's even better. I hope it's that one. The growth of Callie and Patrick's relationship of the game. I'm excited. I'm excited to see more. I hope there's more. And I hope there's a smooch. I hope there's a smooch at New Year's. I hope there's a smooch at midnight. That's all I want. That's all I need out of this game, really. If I don't get that, I will cry to myself alone. You just finished Coteries of New York. It's so good. I love... The New York games are fantastic. Shadows is probably my favorite, although I'm really enjoying this one as well. Patrick and I spent a solid 5 minutes just gazing up at the building we're about to infiltrate, our necks craned, completely silent. Color me psyched, I guess. That's one massive fucking building if I've ever seen one. Indeed, it might complicate our plan, as vague as that is. It's probably packed with high-tech security and the usual batch of guards lurking around every corner. Yet there are also plenty of empty spots we could use to lay low. Look at you picking up the tricks of the trade. Let's not just sit around. Time is running out. Ooh. Scene change. The interior of the circulatory system branch is artfully incognito, masquerading, get it, as a budget-friendly medical clinic. It's the... and it makes me hungrier. Oh no, it increases the threat. Oh great. It's the perfect cover, under the radar, ignored by the upper classes and the authorities, and with a constant justifiable stream of visitors at all hours, even the ungodly ones. Like right now, for instance. And here I am, ready to dive into the fray. Ready? Patrick nods, and right in front of my eyes undergoes a profound transformation. His whole demeanor morphs into something snooty, refined, and downright disdainful of everything. His usual slouch disappears, replaced by a straightened back, lifted chin, and squared shoulders. He could pass for some stuck-up young heir from a wealthy family if it weren't for his tacky shirt and flashy rings, tucked away in his pockets. Mr. Tiburon's very own stooge. He strides forward, oozing confidence and poise, while I fold myself into his shadow and become practically invisible. Practically or actually? The moment we step into the foyer, all eyes are on us, or more accurately, on Patrick. A dashing young concierge with a plastered-on smile hurries over to greet us. Patrick makes a show of coldly refusing to reciprocate his warm and polite greetings, immediately asserting himself as a domineering and difficult client. In the meantime, I keep quiet behind his back, my face impassive and supremely bored. If I had gum, I'd be blowing bubbles like it's nobody's business. As planned, we get separated. Patrick leaves with the concierge to discuss business, while I'm paired up with another employee, a young woman named Nima, who at Patrick's firm request is tasked with showing me around the labs ASAP. She tries to smile at me, but my stony face wins out in the battle of expressions. Shall we go, ma'am? I simply shrug and nod in response, and we make our way toward the elevators. Ka-chow. The moment we step into the labs, my persona flips. I make sure that my tour guide sees my eyes widen and the smile that almost splits my face in half. One look at her back in the foyer told me all I needed to know about this Nima and how to manipulate her. She clearly loves her job and takes an enormous amount of pride in it, and nothing would make her happier than sharing every single detail about it. And all she needs is a willing ear. Well, here I am, both ears wide open. I bombard her with questions, and she happily obliges, growing more and more animated with each answer. But the more she talks, the more distracted she becomes. She shows... Oh my god, it's me. Nima is me. The more I talk, the more distracted I become. She shows me around many, for my purposes, useless rooms, and then I feel something small scuttle between my boots. Scuttle? I glance down. A mouse? Really? Is this the level of cleanliness we're dealing with here? This little bloodthirsty critter probably chews on blood bags for fun. About 15 minutes later, we enter a large laboratory on the other side. And that's us. What? That's someone's famulus or that's a Nosferatu thing. The hell. They have a thing. I don't know if it's with mice. I think it's with bugs only. There's a Nosferatu ability. Though I can't remember what it's called. Nope, I can't remember. About 15 minutes later, we enter a large laboratory on the other side, in which I spy incomprehensible glass gadgets, several rows of coolers with blood, and a PC connected to the local intranet. Perfect. Oh, they have atavism in here, but I don't have 2 dots in animalism. Why didn't I take 2 dots in animalism? I love atavism. That's one of my favorite animalism powers. Damn it. All right. Do it for me. Perfect. Your Honor, I love him. I know. Patrick's amazing. Silence, protect me. Ooh, the discipline. Use a discipline 8 times in one playthrough. Is that a lot? Have I done too many? Have I done that too many times? I turn to Nima with an eager smile and leisurely lean against the desk with the PC blocking the display with my body. So you've told me a lot about the experiments you conduct here. How does that work, like, mathematically? She tosses me a confused look, but obligingly takes out a dry erase marker from the pocket of her lab coat and starts writing some equations on a whiteboard, narrating as she goes. That's my cue. I tune her out immediately, instead taking her melodious voice and spinning it around me like a dampener or a shield. Every single noise I make is absorbed, warped, blended seamlessly into the swirling vortex enveloping me. The sound is imperceptible even to my own ears. I keep a keen eye on Nima, alternating between quietly fumbling with the PC and pretending I'm listening to her in those brief moments when she stops her lecture and turns around to make sure I have no questions. I have none, of course, not only because I have no idea what she's talking about, but also because my shield steals my voice, as well as my steps, the keyboard clicks, the rustling of my clothes. The PC is password protected, of course. Hacking isn't exactly my forte, but I'm good at predicting mortal laziness. The password is on a post-it stuck to a notebook on the desk. I access the PC and hastily make a copy of the database, freezing intermittently to nod or shake my head as Nima glances back at me while my free hand tries to get inside the computer case. Mere seconds before Nima closes her marker and slips it back into her pocket, I manage to slide the case open, gently extract the portable hard drive, put it into my belt bag, and close the case back shut. Is there anything else you'd like me to explain? I quickly drop my shield and smile at her, shaking my head. No, thank you for taking the time to indulge me so thoroughly. You'd make an excellent teacher. She blushes. Perhaps she's not used to receiving compliments, or maybe she's hoping for a recommendation in front of her boss. Well, she's going to be disappointed. It seems that Nima is done with the tour, so we stroll back to the foyer. It seems our little tour is over. Thank you for showing me around. It was my pleasure, ma'am. I wait for what feels like forever before Patrick sweeps into the foyer, followed closely by the concierge, who's practically tripping over himself to keep up. He's drowning Patrick in apologies and desperate pleas for future meetings, his face going from flush to pale as a ghost. Meanwhile, Patrick's pulling off the whole disappointed VIP act like a pro, effortlessly brushing off apologies and offers for better deals. It's the performance of a lifetime, or maybe several. I can barely hold back my laughter, especially when he heads for the door without a second glance, snapping his fingers at me to follow. I manage to keep up my obedient facade as we leave the circulatory system and hop into Patrick's car. Adorable. It's unclear if they notice someone making off with their precious data, but the circulatory system doesn't immediately come after us, at least. Patrick's clearly geared up for a pursuit, the way he's maneuvering through the streets, pedal to the metal, eyes flicking around like a paranoid squirrel on the lookout for a trail. Unliving Hive. Thank you, Jerry. That's exactly... Yeah, God, couldn't remember what it was called. Yes. Yes, I had a player who had bees. I had one NPC in my game that took place in South Carolina where they had flying palmetto bugs, sort of flying cockroaches infesting their face. But the thing is, I don't think you can do it with like mammals. I don't think it's for mammals, for vermin. It would be cool. I would let you though. It would be cool. It would be cool. It's like a bunch of rats in a trench coat, but it's a Nosferatu. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. I'd enjoy it. I'd let you do it. Yeah. Nitro? Yeah, let's do Nitro. Woohoo! Let's fucking go! I can practically see the need for speed in his eyes, but in the end, he eases off the accelerator, blending into traffic as we head back towards Brooklyn. I'm guessing your part of the caper went smoothly. Smooth as silk. Had a bit of fun in the lab downstairs, but hey, got what I came for without breaking a sweat. Quite an adventurous night, I see. I toss my head back and laugh, catching his genuine smile out of the corner of my eye. You could say that. And you? Enjoyed going all snobby rich kid on that poor concierge? He shrugs, all casual-like. I have little sympathy for ventriloquists. As far as I'm concerned, they signed up for this job and all its perks. Ice cold, man. Impressive, too. Stick around me a little longer and I'll make a con artist out of you yet. Who's to say I'm not one already? Yeah, I mean, he's a caitiff, Malkavian masquerading as a caitiff. I can't help but burst into laughter again, straight from the depths of my shriveled heart, completely genuine. Oh my god, that's so cute. Oh god, we have to go back to see Kaiser. Kaiser keeps us hanging in the meetup point like it's a personal joke, clearly his way of saying fuck you. His massive limo finally rolls up and we're hurried inside by the same lanky guy as before. The door slams shut behind us with a resounding thud. Patrick and I barely get a moment to settle before Kaiser impatiently extends his hand, signaling for me to hand over the stolen hard drive. I'm tempted to give him a high five first, but I figure he might toss me out the window or something. Do it. Do it anyway. He plugs the drive into one of his many laptops and silently sifts through the data. A satisfied grin spreads across his grotesque face. Must have hit the jackpot with some serious dirt on the city's big shots, maybe even beyond that. Suddenly he lets out a long, sharp whistle, his hairless eyebrows shooting skyward. They've got a shit ton on Castle. A shit ton, huh? My gut churns uneasily. Lay it on me. Are you sure you want to dig into this? Because from where I'm sitting, he's royally fucked. I swallow nervously, but there's no hesitation in my voice. Yeah, hit me with it. Oh, but with pleasure. He shows us a scan of a report from the FBI's Special Affairs Division. SAD, if you will. The file, apparently intercepted by an unnamed circulatory system associate, is chock full of Reynard. Photos, videos, you name it. And according to this rap sheet here, he pulls up another file, the system's examination of conscience with Reynard's name. He's balls deep in every kind of shady deal you can think of. Look at this. Selling rare blood, mortal trafficking, nothing new there. Preaching the masquerade, yada yada. Corroborating with the sad? Like hell. Diablerie? Now that's horseshit. I can feel Patrick's gaze on me, but I refuse to meet it in fear that he might actually read something from my eyes. I'm no saint, okay? Most of that stuff kind of rings a bell. A mere, a week ago, I was the one pulling the strings behind the merchandise transfers through my dark web channels. Not that I always knew what was being shuffled around. I'm not sure how much I would have cared even if I knew. I've dabbled in some truly nasty shit, both after and before my embrace. See? It's him mixing in shady red market deals and being sloppy enough to get on the SAD's radar. That's got Castle plastered all over the circulatory system's dartboard. Is there anything else worth mentioning? Fuck yeah, there is. Arms trade. The fuck? That's actually news to me. Also, again, it's not unheard of, kindred dipping their toes in selling guns. And is that an issue? Gun running. Please, this whole fucking country stands on semi-automatic legs. The problem is who he's trading with. But it doesn't even matter. No ways that dumb fuck alone could, how did they put it, coordinate a weapon deal with a high-profile mortal. Dickhead. And he stops talking, the asshole. I count to 10 and ask. Does it say who that mortal is? Kaiser shrugs dismissively, still looking through the pages. Nope. The rest is all redacted. Must be some important asshole. Or a dangerous one. Or they have no idea. And speaking of, they've got Castle mixed up with that fucking Hudson witch. Oh! Aisling? Is that Aisling? She's right up there on the circulatory system's hit list, too. I guess cunts of a feather fuck together. Not much dirt on her, though. Nothing I don't already know, at least. Vitae freezes in my veins. I exchange bleak glances with Patrick, remembering Sanzarik's words. About Reynard getting even cockier and his new powerful patron, the self-appointed Queen of the Hudson River. Well, the Queen of the Hudson River... This is Samitsi. Oh, I'm so confused. What? Maybe the fucking Hudson Witch? Hudson Witch? Speaking of the Samitsi, and if they say witch, is she a Khaldun sorceress? Because that's pretty dope. Maybe it's a good idea to wheedle some more information about her out of Kaiser. Yeah. Vritra? Yeah, I heard about her a little bit. Patrick shoots me a warning look, which frankly I don't understand. Intel is power, my guy. Yeah, this meets you later. Yeah. I think witch I just automatically associate with Tremere, so it's weird to hear witch. But if she's you know, a Khaldunic sorceress, then yes, witch is absolutely accurate. A little bit's as much as you can get. Nobody knows jack shit about her. And you? Me? He barks out a laugh. I've got all the dirt that's worth knowing, which by my standards is barely anything. But it's clear she's involved in some nasty shit. Says whispers she's tangled with the Black Hand. Zero proof of that, though, and believe me, I'd know it if there was any. Patrick visibly twitches and gets busy spinning his ring. The Black Hand. You mean the Sabbat? Aren't they extinct on the East Coast? They were driven out of New York City 2 decades ago. It does not mean they are extinct. Conroy, as always, seems to know too damn much. But yeah, bingo. Still, I don't buy that she's with them. Doesn't fit her style of playing the big game. Care to elaborate on that? He sighs deeply as if my questions cause him immense agony, but then starts talking almost immediately. Maybe he actually wants to talk about it, but can't because he's got a reputation to uphold. Dunno, man, is that a Nosferatu thing or something? D'Angelo's also chatty as hell. But a year and a half back, Vritra just pops up in New York overnight and takes over the whole fucking Hudson and half of Staten Island, and then poof, vanishes off the grid. What do you mean? I thought she's been keeping the city in check the whole time. She has. She's been lying pretty fucking low for her kindred, annihilating anyone trying to parley or step onto her turf. She's brutal. Brutal, even. If Castle's really in cahoots with her, and still keeps his head, fuck, that's no small feat. The bigwigs probably want him just for pulling that off. But don't get it twisted. Whatever shit they're spinning, it ain't really part of Castle's plan. I furrow my brows. It's an angle I haven't even thought about, and by the look of sheer panic flashing over Patrick's face, neither has he. Nobody knows what Vritra's game is, which is exactly why every fucker and their sire in this town wants her gone. Volatility is a bitch for keeping order here in the big fucking apple. From what I've seen, that's pretty much the typical kindred push and pull in big cities. Seems to me like she's just the other side of the same coin here, but with one non-negotiable rule. Patrick butts in, his voice firm and cold. Yes, don't fuck with Vritra. Kaiser just shrugs, visibly annoyed, indicating he's done with the conversation. His sharp eyes go back to looking through the SADS file on Reynard. Didn't mention that they're awful chatty and they actually do want to talk. Got anything else interesting in there? The true Nosbane, being chatty and hot. Yeah, Kaiser's missing the hot one. Unfortunately. Kaiser gives me the cold shoulder for a bit, long enough that I'm starting to get itchy and impatient. But just when I'm about to open my mouth to say something stupid, in spite of Patrick's subtlety, but insistently shaking his head at me, Kaiser starts talking again. See? He wants to tell me. There are certain conjectures about Addison Payne in this report. Addison Payne? Wait, isn't he that old fart in a wheelchair from the Camarilla? The one and only paraplegic blue blood cunt. What a futzer. So what conjectures are we talking about here? These ain't from the SAD file. They're straight from the circulatory system based on the shit they found in their records. There's been talk about Payne and where he really stands, all because he apparently was buying spiked blood from Castle. Payne buying from Castle? Why would he do that? A venture of his position has no need to stoop so low. Seems like about a month or so ago, some Ventru began pushing to cut off Payne's access to his circulatory system privileges. Crafty little shits, I'll give them that. What is that supposed to mean? Kaiser grins at him unpleasantly. Can you really trust a man who uses someone else's voice to speak? Just let that sink in, Conroy. What's that supposed to mean? Kaiser just ignores me, slams the laptop closed, and raps on the glass at the driver. The limo swerves hard to the right and comes to a full screeching halt. The door next to me pops open. That's all I've got for you. Now take a hint and fuck off. Hold up, I want a copy of that file. Kaiser stares at me like I've grown a second head, then bursts out laughing. It sounds like the croak of a dying frog. Ain't you a fucking comedian? Now get the hell out or I'll throw you out myself. Were we still mortal, after all the revelations of tonight, Patrick and I would probably hunker down in the dim corner of a bar, drinking our, well, mine mostly, sorrows away and unraveling the tangled skein of our findings. And then we'd kiss. Since we can't stomach alcohol, we just wander around in silence for a while until we settle on a tiny little bench hidden beneath a naked winter tree. There, well, I'd like to say that we talk, but it's more like a floodgate bursting open with me, unleashing a tidal wave of pent-up frustrations. And Patrick just quietly lets me rant, slowly spinning his ring and nodding from time to time. The sheer number of times Reynard pops up in these SAD files is pretty fucking concerning. Not only because of the actual shit he's pulled, but also because he's been so damn sloppy about it. They have so much stuff on him, stuff that could have easily been avoided if he just, dunno, put a bit of thought into his actions and kept me in the loop, maybe. Like, it's no coincidence that there's nothing specific about me in that file, you know? I clean up after myself thoroughly, I think. Regular people wouldn't find shit, and Reynard left so much fucking trail behind him, I'm surprised he's not in some kindred Guantanamo by now. They could have bagged him without breaking a sweat. Patrick gives a skeptical hum, leaning forward and examining his ring. And yet they haven't. Perhaps that speaks volumes about Josiah's ability to dodge bullets, even deep in hostile trenches. I snort inelegantly. Is there an elegant way to snort? Yeah, I guess. He's Ravnos, after all. There's a few beats of silence before Patrick speaks up again. Any idea why Reynard might be dealing in arms with a mortal? I sigh deeply, feeling the air expand in my lungs more than humanly possible, and shake my head. Honestly, Patrick, I feel like I don't know shit anymore. I mean, Reynard was never particularly precious towards mortals, so I thought maybe we'd end up wrangling some eventually. But now, I just don't know. Plus, arms dealing? That's so, I don't know. It's not our style, you know? We're Ravnos, we're tricksters, con artists, not warlords. I can't recall dealing with a single mortal since my embrace almost 2 years ago. If Reynard was peddling something, I'd expect it to be fake shit, decoys, or whatever, but guns? It just doesn't make any sense. Patrick gives that deliberate cough of his, the prelude to dropping some unsettling truth. I hate to be the bearer of harsh truths, but I get the feeling that you never truly knew your sire. A couple of nights ago, I would have flipped out on that suggestion, but now... Oh. Bye, Vin. Oh, letting you out early for the hurricane. Oh my gosh. Be safe, Vin. Please be safe. Holy cow. Well, this can't be monetized on YouTube now. That's fine. That's fine. Not really worried about it. Yeah, Julia did beat him pretty bad, and that's probably my favorite part of Shadows of New York. I collect a handful of gravel from the ground and toss it bit by bit into a puddle of melting snow. So many lies. So many lies. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be surprised, should I? He's a scoundrel. We're all scoundrels. It's not like he taught me everything I know. I've always had a knack for trouble myself, but we spent a hell of a lot of time together. They say there's no honor among thieves, but damn, I thought there was at least some honesty. You know, I think you shouldn't be blaming yourself for his dishonesty. It is quite literally not your fault. Nobody can go through this ordeal expecting to be crossed at every given moment, especially by those we trust the most. That would be a pretty miserable existence, don't you think? I'm not equipped to unpack all that right now. Sorry. Besides, I have no cash on me for that therapy session you're pushing for, Dr. Conroy. His smile is a little wry, but not hostile at all. You know, thinking about it, we've been hunting down my sire for 4 nights, and I realize I know jack shit about yours. Care to share a bit, in the spirit of this painfully awkward moment? He keeps quiet for a while. Frankly, I can't tell you much about them because I don't know myself. What do you mean? I simply don't know who embraced me. He clears his throat and hesitates while I fight the urge to dig deeper. It's a faint memory now, but I remember almost dying towards the end of World War II, somewhere along the Western Front, I think. And then I remember crawling out of a pile of corpses the next night. That is all. I assume I was embraced by a fellow soldier, but there's really no way to confirm. Oh god, is he a shovelhead? Ugh. Patrick, I'm so sorry. I pat him awkwardly on the shoulder. And he nods, looking not at me, but at his lucky ring. I have come to terms with it, but I appreciate the sentiment. We sit in silence a bit longer. There aren't many people around, but the city still feels alive, bustling even at 3 in the morning in late December. The air between us is a little tense. Probably shouldn't have prodded about his sire, but, well, I'm me. I scramble for a new topic and remember we haven't finished discussing our latest scoop from the circulatory systems database. So what I can't wrap my head around is why someone like Payne, a big shot venture, would go to such lengths to avoid buying blood through the company he partially owns. Is he like trying to back out, tank their stock on purpose, or what? Or maybe he's plotting to start his own gig. Hard to see how, but with all that venture red tape, but maybe? Could he be setting up Reynard as his go-to supplier, or is that stretching it too much? Indeed, that does seem like a stretch. It's an audacious, almost disrespectful move. Not really Payne's way of doing things, especially when he's trying to usurp Panhard. But why else would he do that? The file did say he was buying spiked blood from Reynard. That's oddly specific. Maybe that particular type wasn't available through the circulatory system. I mean, all blood bags are spiked. That's the only way they stay edible. One of the reasons why the resident Duskborn alchemist had so much shit to do all the time in our gang. Patrick hums thoughtfully, slowly spinning his ring. Well, I am stumped. But hopefully we can find a way to use that information to your advantage when we face the council. No! You mean like exposing Payne as a fraud right in front of everyone? Damn, Conroy, that's some serious badassery for you. It would be badassery if we had any evidence of these suspicions, which we unfortunately do not. I deflate a little, clicking my tongue. Yeah, I guess that's an obstacle. And how does Vritra fit into all of this, the ever-elusive mistress of the Hudson River? Think we could dangle her as bait before the council? Patrick stills and stiffens, spinning the dice ring as fast as his hands allow. Fuck, I forgot he's so irrationally terrified of her. I'm grasping at straws, I know, but everyone's freaked out by her. I'm not saying Reynard usually shies away from tough cases, but there's so many easier targets to scam. It's also fucked up. I don't get any of it. I don't understand either. He so doesn't want to talk about her. Fine, fine. I'll let him off the hook this time. The weight of tonight's events is starting to crush me, and maintaining this upbeat mask is draining anyway. Thankfully, this time it's Patrick who breaks the awkward silence. Tonight marks the last night. Yeah, so it was 4 days. I knew it was 4 days. The last night in the grace period Kadir gave you. All our leads have dried up. It is unlikely we would find anything else of use anyway. I think we have enough circumstantial proof to clear your name in the eyes of the council. We could trade it for your freedom. You mean for a longer leash? They won't clear me unless I hand over Reynard, and we both know it. Sure, we have some solid clues, but they're just that. The way the Camarilla treated me, well, I'm not exactly optimistic about returning empty-handed. Best case scenario, they order me to stay in the city and give me another impossible task. Worst case scenario, Kadir takes my head clean off my shoulders. And I don't even know where that leaves you. Technically, you were just supposed to keep an eye on me, but... I gesture vaguely and Patrick sighs, defeated. Yeah. He squints at the starless sky. There's still time until sunrise, but I doubt we'll find anyone at Elysium tonight. He gives me a careful once-over, doubt and pity clear as stars in his eyes. Do you have a safe place to stay the day? You're welcome at my haven if needed. The couch should still be there, I believe. I crack a faint smile. Should still be there, huh? Good thing you didn't get into sales, because you wouldn't sell shit. I have some options, I guess. I've only used a couple of our safe houses around New York so far. I don't know. Can I catch up with you later or something? I need some time to think. On my own. He looks at me for a long while, tilting his head hesitantly while his spidery fingers slowly spin his dice ring. And then he just stops and nods curtly. Take your time. I'll wait for you until dawn. I chuckle disbelievingly, unable to keep just a little bit of bitterness creeping into my voice. What if I skip town or something, taking advantage of your misguided generosity? I don't think you will. You haven't thus far, have you? He stands, looking down at me intently. I still believe we can turn this Titanic around before it crashes into the iceberg. We just need to get a hold of the steering wheel. He gives my shoulder a reassuring pat and strides off into the night, leaving me to my ruminations. Da-da! Awesome. Oh, he's older than you thought? Well, he's not, it's hard, take it with a grain of salt. He's not sure, right? So he doesn't even know how old he is. Which disciplines did you level so far? I haven't leveled nothing. I haven't had the option to level nothing, I don't think. I don't think it's given me the option to do nothing. Yeah, I can't do nothing. And I got 2 obfuscate, 2 presence, and 1 animalism. I don't... Does it give me the option to... Do I have an option to level up? Because I have never found it. Have I missed it this whole time? Oh no, Patrick is extremely attractive. I want them to get together so badly. Detour, feeding opportunity. Am I hungry at all? I can't tell. Maybe. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm hungry at all. I might do that anyway. Blood and cigarettes. I don't know what to do anymore. Thinking is a dead end, but clearing my head seems equally out of reach. I've got to at least try to get my shit together, or I might as well cut off my own head before the sheriff does it for me. Oh, later in the game you get an extra point to level up. That's pretty sweet. No, I haven't done nothing. As I try to piece together the scattered details of the past few nights, the less likely it seems that tomorrow will end on a high note, for me at least. Aside from Patrick, I have no allies in Elysium. Forget allies, I'd settle for anyone who doesn't despise me at this point, but earning neutrality, let alone favor, seems like a tall order when I have nothing but half-baked leads. Honestly, I'd rather fixate on my impending doom. Any other thoughts just make me want to collapse and melt into the slush. And deciding where to crash tonight? Forget it. I've got 2 wolves inside of me and both are assholes. So I wander around trying to clear my head. Because honestly, I don't even know what to think anymore. My mind's racing so fast it could win a drag race even with a trunk full of tofu. Where did that thought even come from? That's exactly what I was thinking. I lift my eyes realizing I haven't looked up in like half an hour. The fact that I didn't accidentally stroll into some sketchy alley and straight into a hunter party is nothing short of a miracle. But I don't recognize this area at all. Nothing really pops, just some storefronts dripping with holiday cheer and a fast food spot I've never heard of before. Big Beat Burger. Isn't that the place that Julia always used to like to go to, was Big Beat Burger? Well, there's some local color for you. I should really get moving. The night is... Why do I always bump into the most unlikely people in the most unlikely places? Is it Julia? I turn around. Yeah, it is. That's what I thought. It's Julia stepping right out of that fast food joint. Alright, I can do her voice now. Fuck, how... But seeing as you're wandering into my territory, I guess you're just stalking me. Which, just so you know, I'm not a fan of. Stalking? You literally just walked out of... Why would I even stalk you? Julia pulls out a pack of cigarettes without breaking eye contact. Clearly, to butter me up and get me on your side tomorrow night. What else? Damn, why didn't I think of that? And really, you couldn't have chosen the worst targets. You won't sweet-talk anything out of me. I already have a soft spot for underdogs. Reynard is an absolute asshole, but he's got one thing right. I'm shit when it comes to politicking. Well, sorry not sorry to disappoint. I was just moping around, not trying to pull off any grand schemes. But hey, thanks for the vote of confidence. She gives a hollow laugh and lights her cigarette. We share a quiet moment for a bit, and just when the silence starts to feel unbearably heavy. Are there romance options? No. 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 Sad. It's always headcanon for me. Forever headcanon for me. Oh, God. Ask about the whole smoking thing. I don't... Smoking, it's like sort of like pretty established in like smoking like helps you like simulate breathing, which helps the Masquerade, so I'll skip that. Ask her about the fast food joint. I wouldn't have guessed you're into beef and fries. Julia just shrugs dismissively. Consider it my personal hangout. Costs me a cup of coffee a night and comes with a few perks. Or Julia. Like what kind of perks? She flashes a mischievous smile, and I immediately know it's better not to dig any further. So I assume your little investigation didn't turn that much. Castle's still off the radar. I just nod, feeling defeated. I mean, we dug up a giant pile of shit, and guess who's smack in the middle of it? Ray. She raises her hand to stop me. Keep the details to yourself. I'm not the one you should be confessing to anyway. Plus, I'd rather not have to pretend to be surprised tomorrow night. Just tell me how you feel about what you've uncovered. Suddenly, I'm mentally dragged through the past 3 nights, the memories crashing into my mind uninvited. I feel like I've got nothing solid, just a mess of the he said, she said with some guesses in the mix. Honestly, I feel like shit, both about what we found and all the implications. Yulia watches me quietly for a moment, assessing me maybe. It's hard to read the expression in those pale eyes of hers. She takes a long drag from her cigarette before speaking. Just a little friendly advice, Kali. Whatever you decide to do, however you plan to handle the mess, don't hold back. Keep up the momentum. Push hard. Don't even think of falling. Because if you show up looking as dejected as you do now, they'll dismantle you piece by piece and eat you alive. And that would be a real shame. She crushes her cigarette under her heel and starts to walk away. Cheer up a little, would you? Your face looks like sour milk. Yeah, thanks. She looks back, giving me a sidelong glance. What for? I didn't even see you here, let alone give you advice. She fades into the night, leaving me with more questions than answers, and maybe, just maybe, a spark that might grow one night into a less shitty version of what I feel right now. I need to get a move on. The dawn's almost here. I'm not hungry, but I will do the feeding opportunity anyway. I will do the feeding anyway. Patrick disappears into the night, probably heading to his haven, but I decide to tempt fate and stay out just a little longer, even though dawn is creeping up on me. But I'm hungry, like seriously starving. Is that what that means? I can't tell because this is like white and filled in and this is gray. I don't know. I'm seriously starving and I can't ignore the void inside of me howling for a taste of blood. There's got to be someone around to satisfy my cravings. It's not like the place is crawling with mortals, but there are at least some people out. Most of them seem to be half asleep, braving the awful weather to get to their morning shifts on time. Some of them are just returning from somewhere wobbly and slow on the icy sidewalks. None of them will do. Luring just one away from the group is far too much effort when I can just nab someone alone elsewhere. There is a middle-aged woman setting up a tiny hole-in-the-wall coffee shop. It would be so easy to sneak in and out without anybody noticing, including the victim herself. A guy's leaning out of a second-story window in a nice secluded alley having a drag. Perhaps he's hiding this foul habit from his family since the apartment's still dark. Climbing up and taking a bite would be a piece of cake. I even spot someone napping at a bus stop. Bundled up in warm clothes and curled up in the corner, safe from the wind and snow. If I played my cards right, I could make it look like we're just cuddling while giving them the real kiss. Nobody would care, not in such a bustling city. But I'm sure there's even easier prey to be found. This area is really pretty lively for this time of night. Now that I think about it, it's a little bit too lively. Blake lively. And I'm pretty sure that couple over there has been tailing me for the past half hour. Oh, good. Good. Muggers, hunters, or just a coincidence? Honestly, I've had it up to here with danger looming over my head these past few nights, and even though taking risks is in my vitae, I don't think I can afford it tonight. Sunrise is only hours away. Nah, let's go. I don't want to get kidnapped by hunters. Run. I dash forward, abandoning all propriety. I keep my speed a notch above a mortal's, just in case somebody spots me breaking the masquerade and snitch to the council. The couple lunges after me, exactly, falling slightly behind, but they're doing a darn good job keeping up, to be honest. Definitely not a coincidence then, probably not muggers either, since there's easier prey around. Hunters, god fucking damn it, I'm so fucking tired of these lunatics. I meander around, leading them to a nice secluded space, then I turn on my heel, cross my arms, and give my stalkers a big, warm smile. Oops. They hesitate, but only for a second before pulling out stakes from their jackets. Figures. No time to waste. Offense is the best defense, after all. I dispose of the woman easily, but I'm careful not to kill her. No time to hide the body tonight. I dive under the stakes she's raising and drive my elbow straight into her solar plexus. She screams with pain and doubles over, dropping the stake. Amateur. One more hit, a gentler one to the temple, and she's out like a candle, crumpled onto the snow. Eat them. Meanwhile, the other hunter hesitates, glancing back and forth between his unconscious companion and me, his Adam's apple bobbing nervously. Something dark and desperate flashes in his eyes, and I'm sure he's going to attack me like a savage, but instead he purposefully drops the stake. Then slowly drops to his knees. Oh my goodness. Taking off his scarf, opening his jacket, loosening the collar of his sweater. Tilting his head. Showing me his neck while silently inviting, begging me with his eyes. Kiss me, please. Well, that's new. I've heard about mortals who crave the kiss like parched men yearn for water, but I've never seen one before. Especially one who's masquerading as a... Hold on. Did he become a hunter just so he had a higher chance of actually stumbling onto one of us? Man, that's fucked up. I don't really know what to do about him. Especially when he's staring at me, eyes bright and full of yearning. I'm into this. I'm into this a lot. But if I play Hunter, next time which I have played Hunter. I've played a full Chronicle of Hunter. Or full Chronicle, but I played an official Chronicle of Hunter, officially on the World of Darkness channel. It definitely would be what I would do. I approach him slowly and see him shiver with anticipation. Yeah, there we go. His eyes flutter closed when I take him gently by the jaw, caressing his flushed cheeks. I lower my lips to his ear, jawline, and finally his neck. Oh, I gotta kiss him. As I open my mouth, he pants, tense and excited, letting out a disgusting moan when I sink my fangs straight into his skin. Ugh, I know beggars can't be choosers, but fucking hell, I need a shower after this. No, enjoy it. I drink my fill, careful not to overdo it, when he starts to slowly black out, releasing his grip on my clothes, body growing limp and heavy in my grasp. That's when I stop. Smart and or dumb, yeah. Reluctantly, I might add, but then again, he's a walking pantry. Killing him would be a waste, wouldn't it? I leave the hunter in a heap on the... I'd take him with me. On the ground and scrub my hands with the snow to make myself feel slightly better about my choices. It doesn't really work, but no matter, I'll probably forget all about it by the time I get to a haven. Speaking of which, I gotta hurry. The sun's getting real low, buddy. Sun is close to peeking over the horizon. Getting real high, buddy. Dawn's a-coming. All right, game saved at my stopping point. Hopefully this is we're coming at the end of the game. Maybe we aren't, I don't know. But I'll be back tomorrow to keep playing. We'll continue on with the main quest. And yeah, I hope Kadir doesn't chop our heads off, but if he does, I'm also here for that, because Kadir can do no wrong, and he's baby girl, and I'm perfectly fine with every decision he's ever made. So yes, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have an awesome day, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow.